We are learning that the life below our feet is infinitely more complex than the life that we can see above ground, and that the diversity of life in the soil directly impacts above ground diversity and productivity, as well as the inputs needed to grow food and fiber. These little buggers don't look like much, but they are integral to everything that we grow, from the vegetables in our gardens, to the animals that we raise, to our markets and our dinner plates. Composting our food scraps and other organics strengthens the local food web by returning nutrients to the soil and helps farms establish healthy, productive soils. Establishing adequate numbers and species of bacteria, fungi, protozoa, nematodes, and microarthropods in soils create conditions where the soil life actually creates plant nutrients from soil mineral material and soil organic matter. This reduces or eliminates the need to add fertilizer to farms and other working landscapes like golf courses, sports fields, lawns, etc. Additionally, robust microbial life creates soil aggregates that increase water percolation rates, which decreases nutrient and sediment runoff during rain events. Good soil aggregation also increases the soil's ability to hold more water, increase cation exchange capacity, and rooting depth. Studies have also shown that with the right ratio of bacteria to fungi, you can decrease the ability for early successional plants, or in other words, weeds, to grow and flourish. Lastly, by establishing a wide variety of fungal species and keeping them in the soil, working landscapes can go from being carbon emitters to carbon sinks, sequestering recalcitrant carbon for hundreds of years in the live and dead fractions of the miles and miles of fungal hyphae. This is compost, and it's more powerful than you might think. On-farm composting can benefit farms and their communities in so many ways.
We choose to compost for a number of different reasons. One of them is that we find there's a tremendous financial savings for our farm in being able to produce our own compost and amendments. We're also assured that the products we're creating are safe and healthy for the production of our cut flower farm. So we're making sure that our compost is reaching hot enough temperatures to cook out the weed seeds and diseases, so that we're creating amendments that are really going to be beneficial and help the business grow.
Compost is something that lasts and creates life in your soil. So having the nutrients in our community is really important. Even people that are not firsthand participating in composting are going to reap rewards in the multiplier effect of local dollars. So when this is kept in the local community, it might not be that you're the one that's going to save on fertilizer, but it might be that your job somehow supports somebody.
We've always felt like we have this embarrassment of riches with all this cow manure around. When we make ourselves a little garden, we'll just put a bunch of scoops of cow manure, composted cow manure in there. It's so many nutrients that we've never felt like we've tapped into really well before. So we're learning the ways that can benefit us and benefit this land and benefit our whole operation. It's really exciting to be diving into. At the very least, we're improving this land.
The original inception of why we did this portion of it was to control phosphorus runoff into the Boquet River in the back part of our property. The aim of this farm, as a regenerative agriculture farm, is to make better soils. So therefore, we make a better environment and also cut down on climate changing gases. We didn't want to use, inject chemicals for fertilizers into the soils and things.
We do a lot of work on the farm to try and be good stewards of the land, and we're trying to learn more on like the best practices there, and it seems like the more we were reading into it, the more compost seemed to make sense from a soil health perspective for our fields.
I think it's kind of this idea that we're like small and diversified, and there's like some synergies between like having the animals and having the vegetables. And the vegetables you're largely like taking from the soil, you're always harvesting, and the animals are kind of adding to the soil with their manure. So if we can capture it and mix it all up and kind of balance out the whole thing and have more of a cyclical thing, I think it makes us a little bit more resilient.
We encourage farmers to produce the highest quality compost possible. This is compost that has the right physical properties as well as the right biological properties. When we think of compostable feedstocks, we traditionally think of animal bedding, crop residues, and food scraps. However, it is important to note that there are many other materials that can be turned into high-quality compost. These include, but are not limited to, animal mortalities, waste organics from food processing facilities, and diverted human urine. Our role as composters is to steward the microbes that do the work of breaking down organic material and creating high-quality compost. With care given to the process, we can create biologically robust compost with adequate numbers and species of bacteria, fungi, protozoa, and other organisms. Additionally, high-quality compost has lots of mineral and organic matter aggregation. On-farm composting looks different on different farms. Depending on the farm type, their goals, resources, and end use, the composting system is specific to each farm. Rotating drum systems like these optimize the environmental conditions for the microbes to thrive. When composting is done within a system like this, you are able to control moisture and extreme temperature shifts. Additionally, in-vessel systems take up much less space than most other composting systems. Windrow systems are the most common way that farmers compost. The startup cost to begin windrow composting is very low, and the land and equipment needed are often already part of the farming system. It is important to aerate the windrow so that you are producing beneficial aerobic microbes and achieving temperatures that kill weed seeds and pathogens. To provide more optimal conditions for the microbes to do their job, farmers may want to cover their windrow piles with a tarp during high rain events and be able to water the compost during dry weather. Aerated static piles, often known as ASP systems, can be highly efficient at producing high-quality compost, but they need to be engineered so that the right amount of air is introduced into the pile at the right times. The organic material from these systems still need to be moved and mixed to go through the curing phase. Farm mortalities are easily composted with adequate wood chips, layered in a way that allows for quick and safe decomposition. High-volume bedding materials are often considered a burden for farmers. However, with care, bedding pack like this can be turned into a high-quality soil amendment. It is easy to be overwhelmed by the different composting methods and systems. It is important to find the composting system that works best for your farm's resources, your goals, and your workflow. There are a number of different composting resources to help determine how to begin or improve composting, which we have curated on our Compost for Good website. We are also available for phone or on-site consultation. Compost for Good offers lots of additional resources to farmers, including but not limited to on-farm visits, phone or Zoom calls, microscopy analysis of your compost and soils, composting workshops, and guidance on grant availability and proposals. We can also loan equipment to help you create high-quality compost that can transfer the microbes to your production systems. Ultimately, our goal is to improve the long-term health of your soil.